Now, what's the one thing that solves neediness? The one thing that will get rid of this? That needy voice is like, that's all we need. Just, what is it? It's one word.
Present.
Starts with an M.
Money.
More. More. The only thing that'll ever satisfy neediness is more. That's it. It's more. Anyone follow Liver King on Instagram? Yeah. He'll say more in the most obnoxious, epic way, doing the craziest things. So you'll see, for example, his wife take like this fish, and he opens his mouth, like you can open your mouth and look up, and she starts squeezing out the fish eggs. It's really gross, and he's just like, more, like that. You'll never unsee it. Like, that's now the voice of neediness, for real. As a kid, I remember I was really, really needy around approval, and I was really, really needy around getting a girlfriend. Okay, growing up in high school, I was really shy, no relationships, nothing. And I was like, one day when I go to school, when I go to class, it's just gonna happen, right? And I'd have these crushes in my mind, and I'd like start fantasizing, like one day. Which, funny side note, you know what they call that nowadays? Being a dream sexual. Hey, dream sexuality is a thing. Don't diss it, huh? What is a dream sexual? From my understanding, and I could be wrong, but I Googled this. There's a meme that got passed around. I'm like, that can't be a thing. So I went on Google and I said dream sexuality. The first term is dream sexuality is a term for someone so pathetic that they only experience attraction for a fictional character that exists in their dreams. So it's the ultimate derper. It's the ultimate like fantasize, mental masturbation someday. It's like never in the real world. It's like I only fall in love with people in my dreams and people in my fantasies. And that's what turns you on. So that was me, okay? As a kid, I just fantasized like when this, and then imagine if she was my girlfriend, and I was a total little dream sexual. What a term. And I really felt a lot of lack, right? A lot of need, a lot of lack. And I would actually bask in it. I remember many nights where I'd fall asleep listening to emo music, the songs where it's like, when a guy meets a girl, or one day she'll be mine, like all that. And that would go on through my mind. That was my comfort zone. I'd like cry myself to sleep listening to this. I'd even sometimes take it to the extreme and like put on like musicals like Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, see, he can't get her either. He's like me. So that was my comfort zone. Now, guess what? Were there actually opportunities for me to make this happen in the real world? To stop being a dream sexual, yes or no? Yeah, right? Multiple opportunities where I'd say cross paths, and I could easily just be like, hey, bud, how's it going? Easy. There were even times where those people I had crushes on would actually say hi to me. And what was my response? Hi. I'd run away. Why? Because, guess what? Say I were to actually make that a reality, and I had a partner, I had a girlfriend, I was like that teenager, yes, if I have a girlfriend, could I still listen to those emo songs? What would happen to my emo nights? They'd be gone. It's like, when I finally get the girl, oh, I have her. That's your comfort zone. Probably, because this is very common, if you've been in this self-help world, the spiritual world for a while, your comfort zone is one day, I will be the person I was meant to be. One day. And your version of emo songs is watching self-help TikToks, Instagram, YouTube videos, and that's your comfort zone. You watch it at night, you're like, yeah, someday. What if you were to make it? What would happen to my YouTube nights? What would happen to Julien on YouTube and the dream sexual relationship we have on YouTube? It'd be gone. Right? So, what is self-sabotage really? It's you unconsciously staying congruent to that comfort zone, to your identity, or who you think you are. So that's why really this need is so toxic. Not only does it repel people socially, but it creates so much self-sabotage because you just want to stay with those emo nights in that little fantasy. What's your relationship to the right here, right now? That's really what it comes down to. That's your ultimate comfort zone. How do you feel about the present moment? And you can actually do a little audit here. Everyone, let's just take a deep breath. And you know what? Just sit down. Just close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes. It's okay. Open your mouths. Every time I have to make that joke. But close your eyes. And just see what comes up. Okay, so close your eyes. Start taking a few deep breaths. Let things settle here. Let your shoulders relax a bit. Relax. And see if you can make every breath last a little longer than the previous breath. Every inhale lasts a little longer. Every exhale lasts a little longer. And just allow any thought, any sensation to surface. When you hear me ask you, how do you feel right now in this moment? Being the person you are, right here, right now. You don't have to verbalize it though, just. Okay. Where you are in life, what you've accomplished so far. How do you feel about your life situation? Whether it's your romantic situation, your friendship situation, your job, finance situation, your health situation. How do you feel about all that? And is there perhaps any resistance? Any part of you that says, I need to be more. I need to have accomplished more. Is there any resistance to the right here, right now? Needing things to be different? Needing to feel differently? Needing to look differently? Needing different external situations to be differently? I need more money, more success, better friends, more connections, more action. And just get in touch with that inner force that's just pulling you away from yourself. That says, this is not good enough. That force that might be saying more. And just take a few more deep breaths, sinking into it. And you can slowly start opening your eyes, coming back to the present moment. This here is just a very simple surface level audit to start getting in touch with that force within. You can also kind of feel it like I said, this force that pulls you away from you. That is what you must let go of. You can also audit in life just how much you are in a hurry to get somewhere. Whose phone is that? How much you're in a hurry to get somewhere. How much you're in a hurry to succeed. How much you're in a hurry to get better. That there, the more you're in a hurry, the more you hate where you are. The more there's that resistance to being you or an external situation. That's something to let go of. That's something to process. And what you'll see is when people say, yes, you need a burning desire, like we talked about, that does tend to be the first motivator. Like, most likely, all of you here, you're here because you experienced a situation, or maybe there's just a moment in your life where like, you know what? Enough's enough. Right? Enough. I'm sick of this. Let's do something about it. That's why you're here. You decided to stop settling. Maybe something woke you up. You're like, wow, there's actually a way to, let's get better. There's a saying, misery tends to be the first teacher. The follow-up, though, is don't let it be the last. Anyone who you've seen succeed, who is really needy, who has that burning desire, they succeeded in spite of that. It didn't help them. It created self-sabotage that they fought against. And here's the thing. When that happens, because guess what? Who has a lot of experience with that? Me. The whole first part of my self-help journey was all out of need. all out of self-hate. And I got really good at what? Fighting self-sabotage. That's most advice you'll see out there. It's not true success advice, it's anti-self-sabotage advice. But here's the thing. You can get really good at fighting against it, but you will never truly feel at peace within. You will always feel like if I just stop doing what I'm doing or thinking what I'm thinking, I'm going to fall back. There's always that invisible force you just feel pulling you right back. And not just that, but any result you get, you never truly enjoy it. Why? Because more. Liver King, more. This baffled me, by the way. I was just chasing, and it actually gets worse the more you succeed. Because say you're, quote unquote, at the bottom. You can have all your excuses. You're like, well, one day I'll be happier when I make the money. Say you make the money and nothing changed within, then what? That's when people are like, well, I guess I just need more. And that's the thing with need too. It just always keeps it right out of reach, right out of reach. So you might double down on it, or you might say, okay, well, maybe it wasn't the money. Maybe it was, I need more life experience. And the more you embark on that, fighting the self-sabotage, you eventually reach that point where you've tried everything. And this here is key. Don't wait for that point to happen. Catch it sooner. I sadly waited for that to happen. I reached a point where literally, this is back in 2014, I had everything I thought would ever make me happy and complete me. Like, no joke. From my perspective at the time, right, young in my 20s, I thought I was the second coming of Christ. For real. I'm like, everything, I just got it. I was traveling around the world, amazing relationships, friendships, money, more money than I could spend, doing what I love. And guess what? At a core, did anything change? No. And I started going insane. I was like, well, what's missing? I started thinking, something wrong with me? Why am I not enjoying this? Why am I not grateful for it? Oh, like it just drives you nuts. And then everything just crumbled. Okay? Don't wait for that point to happen. Catch it sooner. You can even just audit on your life so far here today. All those things you thought would work and that didn't. Key quote here, the road to enlightenment is paved with disillusionment. The more you realize that didn't work, and you finally take the hit, the sooner you stop chasing out there and you start introspecting and identifying, okay, what's at the cause of this? Where did this come from? Okay? Now, going deeper, you can think of it like this. We all have this split within. Okay, this happens no matter who you are. From the moment you're born, we create this split, that self-generated lack. Now, why does this happen? A few reasons. Number one, when you're born, you come into a society. There's rules and guidelines in this society. Is that good or bad? Good. If there weren't rules, traditions, guidelines, it'd just be chaos. So you're in this world and you go through what we call the process of socialization, where your parents or whoever's raising you is going to teach you how to function in this thing called life. That's number one. Number two, as a child, can you survive on your own? Yes or no? No. So you need someone external, parent, caretaker, to take care of you. You can't survive on your own. And number three, as a child, do you have a realistic view of the world? No. Right? For example, parents could say, don't do that, and how might you interpret it? They don't love me right now. Is that true? No. Right? Your parent could be saying, hey, don't get naked at the table. No, you're at a restaurant, put your clothes on. And you're like, I guess mommy doesn't love me. That's not true, son. I'm just trying to help you. Doesn't love me. Now, what happens if mommy doesn't love you? You'll get the help you need. Well, maybe mommy will stop taking care of me. What if mommy stops taking care of you? You die. And suddenly something just as simple as put your clothes on, or hey, don't be so loud, turns into a life or death situation in your mind. Not true, but it doesn't matter. If that's what you believe, you will feel survival instinct kick in. And what do we then do? We start labeling different parts of ourselves as acceptable and unacceptable. I guess the part of me that's loud is unacceptable. And you create that split. You try to get rid of that. Like, in order to survive, so mommy doesn't abandon me, I'm never going to be loud again. That's the self-generated lack. We do this with parts of ourselves. We do this with different emotions. This emotion is bad. This one's good. We do it with thoughts. We do it with experiences. For example, a past traumatic experience is one that's like, this is not acceptable. Oh, it never happened. Disown, disown, disown. Suppress, repress. And the more you start acting from this, the more it reinforces it, the more it entrenches you in this. And this is why I keep saying letting go is the way. It's, no matter how much I try to compensate for this half and try to fill that void, I'm still compensating. It's the whole what now, what now, what now, what now? Let's identify all the stuff that I have suppressed or repressed, and let's let go of the resistance around those. Let's start being whole. And you start feeling a lot more at peace within. Guess what? That approval you're so hooked on, you know what approval you're truly after? That inner approval. That control you're after out there, it's actually like that peace within and just like everything clicking inside. That's what you're truly after. Start letting go of that while still taking action and having a clear intention. Life gets peachy.